So now you guys get to hear me just absolutely talk about the Bears. I don't know how long this is going to go. Just hang with me. Okay, Chicago Bears draft. Going into it, I think, all right, we have the 20th pick. I don't think we're going to be aggressive. I didn't think we were going to trade up. I had a lot of people texting me. I had a lot of people saying the Bears have to take a quarterback. I actually didn't think they did. With Andy Dalton being the starter, I'm not saying he's going to be like a quality guy, but I'm like, okay, we might be able to wait one more year for a quarterback. And I figured we go OL at the 20th pick. I knew if they stayed at 20, they were taking an offensive lineman. If they traded up, we got to take a quarterback. Turns out they do. Going crazy on the draft show, how I mentioned earlier, it just kind of like hit me out of nowhere almost, where Sam's like, oh my God, there was a trade. Oh my God, it's the Bears. It was just like, I'm like instantly losing my mind. So the Bears trade up to 11. So they acquire the pick from the Giants for the number 20 overall pick, the 164th pick, a 2022 first round pick, and a 2022 fourth round pick. So I'm looking at this from a Bears perspective. Okay, we just gave up 4 picks for 1. So it better work out right off the bat. Like it better work out. At 20, obviously the Giants end up getting Kadarius Toney. At 164, I don't remember off the top of my head who you guys got, but that 2022 first round, that's going to be something. Mm-hmm. You got 2022 fourth round. So if you're the Giants, you now have 7 picks in the first 4 rounds of the draft. Yeah. Dave Gettleman has more draft capital than he's probably ever had in his career as a GM. So great for you. But let's go back to the Bears. So we take Justin Fields, 6'3", 227. For his career at Ohio State, he completed 68.4% of his passes, threw for 5,000 yards, 63 touchdowns to only 9 interceptions, guys. That's huge for me. PFF said he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks that they have ever tracked. Literally the exact quote. Field has been one of the most accurate quarterbacks we've ever charted. In his first game against Nebraska this season, he didn't let go of a single off-target pass. The problem is, at Ohio State, he didn't have to throw into a lot of tight windows. The receivers at Ohio State are kind of all over the place. They're all over the field. A lot of the times they were wide open. He didn't have to squeeze a ball in. He will have to do that in the NFL. There are elite corners literally at every team. He's going to be the most athletic QB the Bears have had in a long time. Legit franchise quarterback. He's got physical tools. The leadership he brings are too great to ignore. You can have some questions about his accuracy, which I know some people have had, but literally he only, I think played in 8 games this year. At Ohio State, had 2 bad games. The 6 he played he was pretty much untouchable. Like I said earlier, the PFF grade of 93.5 this year as a senior. You just don't see that in college football a lot. Then we talk about the second round. We're sitting at 52. We're like, okay, we got to go get an lineman here. My thoughts are Liam Eichenberg from Notre Dame. I know Tom Scavetta's guy. I thought maybe we could get him there. It's another one of those where, what the fuck is going on? I had to join the review and preview broadcast a little early, and that's the first thing I said. Guys, what is going on? The Bears trade up to 39 to get Tevin Jenkins. Tevin Jenkins is a guy they were linked to at getting at number 20. So they get a first-round talent in the second round. They're fucking knocking it out of the park. At tackle, who did the Bears have at tackle last year? Jermaine Ifedi, who's a guard, who they had to move over when Bobby Massey got hurt. And then you have Charles Leno Jr. And, credit to 72. He just got cut. He was a 7th-round draft pick in 2014. He made like 91 consecutive starts for the Bears since 2014. So credit to him. Thank you for all you did, Charles. But, it's a new era. We have an upgraded tackle here with Tevin Jenkins. He's really, really good in the run block. I love this guy. Like, he's 6'6", 317. You don't get that size a lot at the tackle position. He's moved around a lot at Oklahoma State. He can play left tackle. He can play right tackle. I'll be curious to see, kind of where we put him. He has limited reps at the in pass block, but when he did, he looked great. He was labeled as one of the best run blockers in this draft. Did it a lot for Chuba Hubbard. It's so hard not to say Hubbard when you say Chuba. Chuba Hubbard at Oklahoma State, one of the best running backs in college football. But he's physical as fuck. He wants to punch you in the mouth, and he wants to run you over. This is a literal quote from him at his press day. He goes, basically, I want to impose my will against another man and use that force against him until he gets worn out and tired. And I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to do that 24/7. I'm going to do that all game. Inject this guy right into my veins. we take a franchise quarterback and directly after him, we take this guy to fucking block for him. I am all in. He improved every single season at Oklahoma State. He got better and better. Big 12 last year, first team all conference as a senior, 92.0 PFF grade. This guy is going to be legit. He does have short arms, does struggle. He's projected he might struggle in some pass block situations. But when you can get a guy at 39 that was projected as going as high as 18, 19, 20th pick, like that's a win in my opinion. Sure, what we gave up for him. So we traded up with the Panthers to make this pick. So the Bears traded away their second round pick at number 52, the 83rd pick in round 3, and their first pick in the 6th round, number 204, and they got back in return Carolina's pick at 39 and a 5th round slot at 151. So through the first 2 rounds, my analysis here, knocking it out of the park. But at the same time, I said it earlier, Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy literally have their backs against the wall. They have to do this. They don't. That's why they're making these trades up. They don't care about these picks from the future years because they don't know if they're going to fucking be here. So this shit better work out. But so far, I love it. I love what they're doing. We go to the 3rd round. They take another tackle, Larry Borum out of Missouri, 6'6", 332. And he's got great timing with his hands, strong upper body, similar to Jenkins. But he really struggled to find his fit at Missouri. He really improved, though, when they did stick him at the right tackle position and he had that actual position he knew. He was projected as being taken in the 6th round. Bears took him in the 5th. They might have reached a little bit for him. The 6th round was really where the Bears knocked it out of the park, in my opinion, as well. They get a guy, Khalil Herbert, out of Virginia Tech, formerly of Kansas. So as a senior Virginia Tech grad transfer, this was his 5th year in college, so he is on the older side. Scouts don't like that. He played 10 games, 155 attempts, 1,172 yards, 8 touchdowns. He was a big play back for the Hokies this year. Was very shifty in space, made a lot of big plays, a lot of long runs for them. He started his career at Kansas, like I said. And then they go with these guys that have high PFF grades, 89.5 PFF grade as a senior. In round 6, again, 221, they take Daz Newsome out of North Carolina. Absolute speed demon. He runs a sub 4.4 40 at UNC for his career. 2,435 yards and 18 total touchdowns, 13 yards per catch for his career. His best year was a junior in 2019, 72 receptions for 1,000 yards, 14.1 yards per catch, and 10 touchdowns. He's a huge yards after catch guy. Once he gets it and he's in space, he's very shifty and he's really hard to bring down. The drops were an issue for him at UNC. I think he had 20 total drops in 4 years, which is a lot. He's mostly going to be a slot guy. At UNC, I think he was used out wide maybe like 5 times in 4 years. So he's going to have to improve his route running a little bit, but he was legit one of the best deep threats in college football in 2019 as a slot guy, and that you just don't see that a lot. Another steal they got in round 6, in my opinion, is Thomas Graham Jr. He's a cornerback out of Oregon. He opted out for his senior year. That's probably why he slid down so far. PFF had him projected as a 3rd or 4th round pick. So his career at Oregon, 143 total tackles, 40 of those were assisted, 183 total. 1 sack, 8 interceptions, 32 passes defended. 21 penalties in 3 years of college football. That's not great. That's a lot of penalties in college football rules. So he's going to have to clean that up. But he doesn't panic. He trusts his athleticism. He doesn't try to do too much, and he just attacks through the catch point with no hesitation. So I think he's a guy maybe you look out for to play a significant role in the secondary next year. So, and then in round 7, they go Chris Tonga from BYU, 6'4", 321. Great size at nose tackle, very light on his feet. You don't see that a lot. But the problem with him is he didn't dominate as well as he was used to he didn't dominate as much as he should have. He played at BYU, played a lot of lesser competition. He's 6'4", 230, and he really didn't dominate as much as scouts would have wanted him to against lesser competition. So that's my Bears spiel. I'm sorry. I don't know how long that went, but A+. that is what I'm going to say. Sam said it earlier. A+. You got your quarterback of the future with Justin Fields. You got a guy in Tevin Jenkins that can block for him. And maybe a guy in, I'm sorry, I already forgot his name. Larry from Missouri. Great radio. Larry Borum from Missouri.
Larry from Missouri.
Huge fan.
That's all we need.